Have a chance.
Here we go. So LeBron James had the huge night last night. His 20th 40-point game in his playoff career. He's one of three players to have reached that. Can you name the other two?
So we had the All-NBA consecutive streak, and we had the 82 games played, and I didn't say Michael Jordan.
Okay.
I'm going to say him on this one.
All right. And
the other one should be Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Okay, you were close. If you really look at the silhouette, you had a chance. It's the logo. It's Jerry West. It's Michael Jordan and Jerry West. Wilt Chamberlain only had 13 such games.
I guess Wilt, too.
Which surprised me a lot. And it is worth always pointing out, when you mention Jerry West, he did it without a three-point shot. There were no three-pointers when Jerry West was playing, and he had all those 40-point games.
I appreciate the should be, as if, like, maybe we should rethink the answer. Like, I actually kind of like that. That's a smart way to answer trivia question. So, speaking of LeBron, obviously, he heard a lot of the criticism from Game 1, because last night, hot start. Scored
just watch him
points
get up,
in the first 5 minutes of the game, most scored by any player in the first 5 minutes of a postseason game in the last 20 years. That big number from last night's game is 11. He went 11 for 17 on contested shot attempts in Game 2 after going 3 for 11 in Game 1. Obviously, there was a concerted effort on the part of Ty Lue and everyone to get the ball in his hands as many times as possible. So my question is this. Is there anything that Indiana can do moving forward into Game 3 to try and stop that?
Well, I think Indiana's going to play better because they're at home, and usually your role players perform better. They got what they wanted to do, at least win one game on the road. LeBron also achieved what he wanted to get accomplished. I'm not letting our team get down 0-2. The key for LeBron is when he's making his jump shot. I remember being on the floor with guys that aren't known shooters like Kobe Bryant or Allen Iverson, and they'll go one-on-one, and when they shoot a jump shot, you're like, whoo, thank you. And you hope that you're going to live with the percentages. I played the exact same way against LeBron James. But then when they're making their shots, it's lights out. In Game 1, he was 0 for 7 outside of the restricted area. Not the paint, the restricted area. In Game 2, he was 9 for 15. And when he came out, I think it was a 6-0 run by him, and he pulled up behind the screen and he made a three, I was like, it's lights out. And that's when LeBron James' confidence went to another level.
And yet, they were holding on for dear life at the very end because he does not have the help. And Kevin Love has got the thumb. I said it right off the top of the show. Beetle, you're starting to win me over to your side. You have been majorly questioning the Cavaliers, and I was not. And I would say last night, for whatever it's worth, last night actually gave me less confidence rather than more, despite the fact that they won.
But here's what you have to look for. It's one thing for a team to be better than the Cavs. It's another thing to have somebody on the opposing team that's going to make LeBron James work.
Right.
When LeBron James has lost in the finals, who was the MVP recently? Kawhi Leonard, Andre Iguodala, and Kevin Durant. All people that were the opposing LeBron James. I don't see that player in the Eastern Conference. I see more nights like this when he gets desperate.
We shall see, my friend.
Yes, indeed.
We shall see. We got to talk a little Thunder, because Russell Westbrook, Paul George, and Carmelo Anthony scored a combined total of 2 points in the fourth quarter
two more than
against the Jazz as the Thunder. I mean, we could have had maybe more, though. They were outscored 28-16 in that final frame. Big number from last night's game is 14. That is the number of shots taken by Westbrook, George, and Melo without a single make in the fourth quarter. Where the heck was playoff P? So what can we learn from the fourth quarter struggles that can be applied as this series goes on?
So here's what we should learn from watching the Oklahoma City Thunder. Carmelo Anthony is a terrific player, is going into the Hall of Fame, one of the all-time great scorers. His role is different on OKC. We keep talking about a big three. The third cog that needs to get going is actually Steven Adams. He played 22 minutes. He had 6 fouls. He was dominated by Rudy Gobert. When he's playing well, now I see Russell Westbrook getting more assists, being more efficient, having those guys have lanes to drive to the basket, as opposed to settle for three-point shots. Capable shooters are Paul George and Carmelo Anthony. Paul George has been on fire from 3. But when they're not going, I don't want to see both of those guys taking 21 threes total and total 8 free throws. That means you're settling for three-point shots, not attacking the basket. Give the defense credit of the Utah Jazz that has been consistent all season.
You know, sometimes with those graphics that Hembo puts up there, you have to look at the little print. If you look at the little print, it said every single one of the shots we're talking about was contested.
Right.
What does that mean? That they're just playing one-on-one. They don't run a play. No one's passing the ball. They just give it to Russell, get out of the way, give it to Melo, get out of the way. So if they maybe sort of, here's a news flash, run an offense. Run something that appears like an offense and maybe becomes a little harder to contest every single shot they take.
This is why I enter Adams in the equation, because that's the pick and roll option. That's the now he picks and he goes, Russell comes off of the screen. Now he throws it back to Paul George for a jump shot, has the defense running at him. Now he can penetrate the lane. 2 points.
That's not good. Joel Embiid, this is the question of the day. Still listed as doubtful for Game 3 against the Heat. He has cleared concussion protocol and is in recovery from surgery after that orbital bone fracture. At this point, is anybody else up here wondering why he's not playing?
I have my hand raised.
Greeny has his hand raised.
I am wondering why he's not playing. They're in a 1-1 series, so this feels like crucial time for a team that I think is thinking championship thoughts. Embiid, this is not a foot, it's not a knee, it's not an ankle, it's not his back, it's his face. So it's not something that I think has long-term ramifications. I don't understand why he's not on the floor.
I do understand why he's not playing.
Okay, so explain this thing.
So for what is the rally cry that we've been using for the Philadelphia 76ers the last few years?
Trust the process.
This is a part of the process. You said it's not a foot. You said it's not a knee. You said it's not a back. It actually is all of those things. I covered Joel Embiid in college, okay? He didn't play in the NCAA tournament because why? He was injured. How about this? He has missed 243 games due to injury or rest in his pro college career. That's 2/3 of the possible games. He's been listed on the injury report with injuries to, Greeny, listen up, his face, ankle, hand, back, knee, elbow, and foot. He underwent surgery recently, as you know, for a fractured orbital bone. And he also had foot surgeries in 2014, 2015. He also had surgery on his left knee in March for a meniscus tear.
But
if you remember the game Operation?
Yeah.
Okay, he has those lights all around his body.
I get
okay?
it. The little rubber band.
No question. So you have to protect him from himself. Of course he wants to get out there and play.
But for what?
Here's why.
If not for you're 1-1 in a series, if not for now, when?
I love you so much. Here's why. Because you think you can beat the Miami Heat without him. Now, all of a sudden, if the Miami Heat go up 2-1, you bring them back.
Okay.
You go up 2-1, we may not bring them back. You want to extend this series as much as possible before you bring them back. Because one elbow, one gimpy knee, one knee to the thigh, he's going to be out the remainder of the playoffs. You're saving him from himself.
They treat him the way some people treat the good China.
Yeah.
You know, like that. We're only breaking this out like if the president comes to dinner.
And you never,
really famous person comes. And as a result, you never wind up eating off the good plates.
Okay, well, let's make that in layman's terms. It's almost like having the furniture that nobody can sit on that has the plastic on it.
Fair enough.
Y'all seeing